Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience. Want to improve your organization's customer service? Looking for insider tips to knock your customer socks off? Then you're in the right place. Here's your host, Yannick Grant.
Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience. On today's episode, our guest is Serena Chan. Serena is a research advocate at Dovetail with a background in exploratory and UX research. She plays a pivotal role in crafting memorable experiences for customers, advocating for them within the company, and partnering with people who do research to build community and best practices at Dovetail. Before joining Dovetail, Serena held UX design research and product roles across various industries, including health tech, entertainment, and social enterprises. Passionate about democratizing research, she champions the importance of prioritizing insights from customer-facing teams to drive the development of truly customer-centric products. Serena holds an MBA in design strategy from California College of the Arts. Though her academic journey started with a Bachelor of Science in public health, her early career spanned roles in public health, during which she was inspired by the intersection of design thinking and global health at a transformative conference. A poet and community gatherer, Serena leverages storytelling at work and leisure to facilitate a more deeply connected, equitable, and regenerative future for all. So without further delay, sit back, plug your earphones in, and let's jump right into this conversation with Serena. Welcome, Serena.
Thank you so much, Anique. It's great to be speaking with you today.
Awesome. Now, we always like to give our guests an opportunity for them to share in their own words a little bit about their journey. I know I read your bio and it kind of gives us a quick summary of, the journey that you did have to get to where you are today. But we'd love to hear from you in your own words. How is it that you got to where you are today?
Yeah, I think one of the earliest jobs I ever had was in customer service, customer experience. So I think that's been quite the through line in my career, and why I'm also so excited to be here today. Starting from my first job in private tutoring when I was just in high school, to volunteer work and working in customer service jobs. I think there's some element of being of service and working with people that I was always drawn to. And after graduating college, it led me into the world of health tech startup and joining a customer success team for the very first time. And for me, that was the first opportunity to really be that bridge between hearing our customer needs and sharing that back with our product team, helping have that inform our product roadmap and innovation and business strategy. And working in that intersection, that hub, really got me quite excited. So that's kind of led me to continue to pursue my career from grad school to consulting and freelance work to now my work at Dovetail.
All right. So could you tell us a little bit about Dovetail and what your company does?
Yeah, so Dovetail is a leading customer insights hub. We work with lots of teams of folks, whether they're in user research or product management, design, innovation, whether you're a software company or, we have some people also building physical products, some people building really large things in the world, like, construction machinery and, things that are like tractors that farmers use, to all kinds of, software that we use in our day-to-day as well. So we are a platform where these teams are able to really harness the insights they're hearing from their customers, whether it's customer interviews or survey data, things ongoing like CSAT and NPS and sentiment, and have that then inform better product and decision making across the business as well. So the work I do at Dovetail is really closely partnering with our customer teams and coaching them in best practices from onboarding and being successful in Dovetail to how they can further grow customer centricity and the culture of that at their organizations.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Now, as a subject matter expert in the area of customer experience, could you give us maybe 2 or 3, I would say, areas that you believe organizations need to focus on as we continue to traverse through 2024 and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, we're all navigating so much change, and one thing that I always return to is just talk to customers. It's easier said than done, I think, for a lot of people. Um, in my role, I do work with customers in the day to day, so that makes my job a lot easier. But for other people, who maybe it's not the majority of how they spend their days, it can be hard to really remember, oh yeah, let me go and actually get in front of customers, or how can I actually, if you can't talk to customers, that's kind of point one, then two, like really leverage the type of customer data you already have. So honestly, most of the people at our company who are talking the most to customers are sales, customer success, and support. And so our product managers and our designers, they'll talk to customers, but they also try to go within our Dovetail workspace and pull from, the interviews that we've already had, the customer calls, our sales team has already had, the support tickets that have come through. So if you can't go and talk to customers immediately yourself, then draw from those who are talking to your customers day in, day out. That would be kind of step two. And then point number three is really trying to kind of complete the loop, because our customers, I'm really lucky that our customers are also some of the best at giving feedback and sharing their insights and their requests, because they're also people in the space of customer experience. And so trying to really complete that loop and try to bring them along the journey. We're trying to do more ways of, running early beta and alpha kind of programs to test new things we're building at Dovetail. We're also trying to co-design and really do more kind of, participatory type of practices with our customers, bring them along the journey and have them be part of that process. So really those three steps: talk to customers. The second, talk to the people who do talk to your customers and also leverage the existing data you do have. And then the third being kind of complete that loop and really make sure you're integrating the feedback you're hearing into your product and business decisions, and then share it back to your customers, because they're always super appreciative to hear that you're taking their feedback and how quickly we're moving and iterating on that.
Now, I heard you mention in your feedback just now, in terms of the three areas that you believe, organizations should focus on, that you are blessed to have customers who are very willing and able to give feedback. I'm not sure if that's cultural, but if you could maybe just give us a little insight. What if you are in a culture where it's hard to collect feedback from customers? It's not very easy. They don't voluntarily give it to you. And even when you intentionally seek it out, it's hard to kind of pin them down to get the information that you need from them. What would be your best recommendation to approach if you're in a business like that?
Yeah. Well, think about kind of what are those first points of contact? Is it that someone is hearing about you through some marketing channels, or maybe they're talking to someone in the sales process? Even those are important touch points and opportunities for insights, especially if you're trying to understand your customers' motivations, their desires. I think those are actually some really powerful touch points that we can leverage more in general. Of course, there's, teams that go out and do proactive research, whether it's user research or usability testing, things like that. And I think we tend to rely a lot on that, but there's also so much room to lean on people in other functions as well, who are talking to customers day in, day out. And even if they're not existing customers, talking to prospectives is really helpful too. So, I learn a lot from sitting in with our sales team and understanding the needs and desires of our prospective customers, and seeing how can we currently serve them, where are the gaps and opportunities, and then how can I bring that back to our product team, our leadership team, and say, actually, these are the current needs we're hearing from people, people who are interested in buying our software, or have similar visions and wanting to really grow customer centricity. And these are the things they're asking for, which we may or may not have at the moment yet. So I think these are some other kind of creative ways to talk to people who, unless you have a completely, sales process where no one's talking to anyone, then that's maybe on the more rare side. But you probably have someone that's talking to your customers. And then also, my bias too is in the onboarding process. We have a pretty hands-off approach as well. You can definitely self-serve and, leverage Dovetail Academy and kind of learn at your own pace. But then we also do have a team of customer success managers. And that was kind of where I started at Dovetail, was actually in customer success. And we work with so many customers in the onboarding process. And that's also so much wisdom to learn, what are your customers understanding? What is harder for them to understand? What are the common questions and, challenges and pain points that are in many ways empowering our customer success folks to basically be like our frontline design researchers in a way, right? Like they're the ones who are often closest to the day-to-day pain points, as well as our support team that our customers are facing. So yeah, really explore kind of what are some ways you're already, your company's already talking to customers, and try to get closer to those people. Sit along on their calls, or watch the calls if they have that uploaded into a central place.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, Serena, as a customer, right? So I want you to kind of take yourself out of the role of that you're functioning in now, providing service, but more so service being provided to you. If you were to pick one organization, and it's up to you if you'd like to share the organization, but I'm more focused on the traits or the attributes that the company has. If you were to choose one company that you really, really love, what would be, let's say, 2 or 3 characteristics that they have that make you loyal to them and keep going back over and over again?
Mm. Ooh, I love this question. Oh, yeah. For me, it's what's funny is actually the farmers market came to mind, which isn't necessarily a company in a traditional sense. It's
Mm-hmm.
maybe more like a gathering place, a marketplace,
Right.
but it's a place I love, and I think about why I love it. And there's some amount of structure, right? You go and you know what to expect. You know what vendors are generally there, but you also have options. You have a specific time and place as well. And for me, it's also this sense of community and kind of community gathering place. That's actually a big thing we're working to invest in and grow at Dovetail as well, is how do we actually build a gathering place for people in research and design and product to come and gather and learn from each other. And I think that's a huge opportunity for a lot of companies to um, leverage that within their customer base. So for me, I personally, as a customer, really enjoy being able to just meet other people in a very casual sense, and feel that sense of community, whether at a farmer's market, they're my neighbors, or as someone in like a, customer experience kind of space, like that's similar to maybe conferences or, virtual or in-person meetups and events that, vendors or companies may hold. So leveraging that aspect of community. And then also having an element of discovery. There's some things that I know and I can rely on, and there's some elements of novelty that also keep me coming back. Yeah, so that's what comes to mind for me.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, could you also share with our audience what is the one online resource, tool, website, or app that you absolutely cannot live without in your business?
Mm. I'm going to take it from a bit more of a personal approach to how I show up in my work.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it can be any kind of app, I guess. But for me, it's like a mindfulness practice app and tool. I see that as very much a part of my professional toolkit. I personally have really enjoyed the Open app recently. And why I say this is because so much of the work I do is to witness and listen to our customers, to facilitate, workshops, whether with customers or internally. And I think so often, especially in the startup world, we're really quick to want to fix things and want to solve things and, iterate and pivot and all of that. And that's great. And it's necessary and it's important to move quickly. But if we're not taking the moment to pause and to truly listen and understand what it is our customers are sharing with us, and also how the greater industry and world is shifting too, then we can't do all the rest, or it'll kind of be done in a haphazard way. So for me, actually, my mindfulness practice, my kind of deep listening and meditation practice is a core part of how I show up in my work and with my customers, and also, in holding space as I facilitate internally with my teammates as well.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, could you also share with our listeners maybe 1 or 2 books that you have read that have had a big impact on you? It could be a book that you read a very long time ago, or even one that you've read recently, but it's had a great impact on you.
Yeah, I really love Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. This is a book all about the art of creative living. And for me, it has impacted both my professional and personal lives. And really, the kind of one-liner from it is like, what is creative living? It's a life that is more driven by curiosity than by fear. I think one of my strengths in being able to navigate a lot of uncertainty and ambiguity, especially in the startup world, is my ability to kind of lean into curiosity and not just operate out of reactivity or fear or all of that. And so I think the more we're able to flex that and lean into curiosity when we're trying to understand our customers, lean into curiosity when there's a workplace challenge or a product issue that comes up, lean into curiosity in terms of crafting our own careers and lives. This is kind of how we can apply that creative energy into how we show up in the day to day. I think so many of us, so many of your listeners are deeply creative people, whether or not you identify as a, artist or designer or, capital C creative person. But I think we as humans are deeply creative. And the more we can channel that kind of energy, the better we are able to show up for our customers, in our businesses, in our communities, and for the society as a whole.
Agreed. All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Serena. Now, could you also share with us what's the one thing that's going on in your life right now that you're really excited about? Either something you're working on to develop yourself or your people.
Well, I recently adopted a dog, so I'm newly a dog mom. He is actually napping right next to me right now. And something I'm learning is you never really know how it goes when you are trying to love and care and train a rescue dog. He's brought so much joy into my life. He's brought a lot of, wonderful trail runs and play and novelty and exploration. And I also, I'm lucky to have a dog-friendly office, so I bring him into work as well. And we like to joke that he's the chief vibes officer at work. And so he's also, bringing a lot of joy at work too. So I think in many ways, even though he is such a personal part of my life, he is also really helping me also build better bonds with my, colleagues. And, he'll also show up in the back of a meeting room as I'm on a customer call. And so sometimes I think even just remembering, like, we're all humans. We, are all trying our best, and people will see my dog and kind of, I don't know, it just creates that kind of human connection. So it's been a very special time, and I'm learning so much every day and celebrating all our little and big milestones as we go, and that helps me remind myself too of my capacity to keep growing and learning and adapting to change.
Amazing. All right. So you got a chief vibes officer. I love it.
Yes, very important role.
I tell you. Now, our listeners would have tapped into this episode, Serena, and they would like to connect with you online. Where can they find you online?
LinkedIn's going to be a great place to go. You can find me just by searching my first and last name, Serena Chan, and Dovetail, and happy to connect and keep the conversation going.
Lovely. All right. Now, before we wrap our episodes up, we always like to ask our guests, do you have a quote or a saying that during times of adversity or challenge, you'll tend to revert to this quote? If for any reason you get derailed or you get off track, the quote kind of helps to get you back on track. Do you have one of those?
Yeah. For me, it's ride the waves. I am a beginner surfer myself, but someone who's grown up swimming my whole life. And so the water is a really restorative place for me, but also challenging. I live in San Francisco, pretty close to Ocean Beach, and these are some gnarly waves we get out here. And much with, the tumultuous lives and professional worlds we live in and the changing world, sometimes all we can do is just show up and practice riding the waves and enjoying when things are calm, but also learning, even when it feels stormy, like we can get through it and just keep riding the waves.
All right. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Ride. Let's keep riding the waves. Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Serena, for taking time out of your very busy schedule and coming on our podcast, sharing all of these great insights as it relates to customer experience, some of the things that you believe organizations need to be focusing on for 2024 and beyond, and of course, all the great things that your organization is doing. And we just really appreciate you taking time to share all of this great insight with us today.
Thank you so much, Unique. It's a pleasure speaking with you as well.
All right, just want to remind our listeners you can follow us on X at Navigating CX and feel free to join our private Facebook group, Navigating the Customer Experience Community. Until next time, I'm your host, Yannick Grant. We also have a new book available on Amazon, The ABCs of a Fantastic Customer Experience. It's available in ebook and paperback. So if you want to increase revenue in your organization, build a stronger service culture, and create employees or develop employees who are really mastering service delivery in your business, you need to grab a copy of this book. Until next time, I'm your host, Yannick Grant.
Thanks for listening. For more awesome resources to take your customer service game to another level, head over to navigatingthecustomerexperience.com. See you next time.